Rituals help us prioritize our key objectives. Rhythms are like rituals. If we don't have established rituals that ensure that we keep the main thing, and are not chasing our frustrations, chasing our tails, and chasing the most recent thing that needs coaching. Rituals help us prioritize our key objectives. The best coaches and teams that I've been around have these rituals or these rhythms to make sure that you as leaders are at your best and your team is able to be at their best. I'm going to share with you personal, team, and theme rhythms for some ideas that you can steal from. So we can't pour from an empty cup, and we can't give away what we don't possess. We all know how exhausting a season is as a coach, and we know how much time it takes, and we know what a wear and tear it is on our family, our diet, and at times our own personal health. And so I am here to encourage and even demand that each and every one of you prioritize your personal rhythm first. Because a lot of times, I know you're all leaders, I know you're all servants, I know you care about the people that you're leading, so you'll sacrifice your sleep, your own workouts, your own eating habits, and at times your own family time in order to lead your team. But over the long run, that's not going to allow you to be at your best or your team to be at their best. And I've talked to countless successful coaches that really feel like they unlocked a whole new level of leadership when they did put up guardrails, rhythms, rituals to protect their own energy and their own rest. So what are 3 ideas about this? 1, what's one simple thing that you can continue to prioritize daily, hopefully at the beginning of your day, that's going to fill your cup and isn't going to be infringed upon? I mean, you can't really see it, but I've got my whiteboard back there, and I actually have my morning rhythm written over there on the side that I have to do, or else I know I'm not as good throughout the day. You know, whether it's, getting up and abiding in the Word in a time of prayer, walking around outside, drinking a cup of water early in the morning, simple things that are around self-care that I know are important to my health, into my energy, into my state. What are yours? What are your non-negotiables that you'll do daily? 2, weekly. This is something that I'm continuing to stretch into myself, is my weekly rhythms are around my family. I mean, we know how it's going to get in this season, but whether it's prioritizing a date with my wife or a rotating individual time with my kids, or training time where I go out into the barn and shoot with my daughters, like where does that weekly rhythm that isn't going to be infringed upon so that you can fill your cup and fill your family's cup first? And 3rd, what does fill your cup? Because it's not the same for everybody, right? Like what is that thing that does fill your energy cup? Because a lot of times that thing that's like, oh, that's just recreational, or that's just what's fun for me, oh, I can cut that out. But oftentimes it's that thing that makes you good and makes you energized. I'll give you a quick example. I was presenting at the Minnesota Coaches Clinic, and I was going to do a 2-hour on-court. I did a 2-hour on-court presentation on racist space, and it was from 10 to 12 a.m. That morning, I got up and I did a 45-minute workout. Like, I was getting after it, sweating. I went and had a quick shower. I was so fired up for that presentation. I'm out there on the court, like demonstrating, but that workout filled my cup and allowed me to deliver a high energy presentation. Whereas if I had just been sitting, eating breakfast, or watching another presentation for those 2 hours, I wouldn't have been as good to serve those 150 coaches. That workout filled my cup. What is it that fills yours? Do it and you'll be better. Okay, everyone, I just want to pause and give everyone a chance to type into the chat box. Which of those 3 resonates most with you? Is it your daily discipline early in the morning? Is it weekly time prioritizing others and your family? Or is it the recreational piece of doing what fills your cup and not infringing upon that? Let's keep firing, because team. I actually got most of these ideas from my good friend TJ Rosine, who's head coach at Emmanuel College in Georgia. And he does an amazing job with his team rhythms, help build his culture. And one way that he put up guardrails around culture building, so it's not just at the team retreat at the beginning of the season, or just a packet of papers that he prints out, or just a word that's put on the locker room wall. That's not culture. Culture is every day. Culture is the way we do things every day. And, he had a team rhythm of, at the beginning of practice, weekly, he just named the days of the week to build connection, to build trust, and to build culture. These are some that I stole from him, some I stole from others. So like Mondays was Make Me Better Monday. And so he just normalized that before practice, before they got going, they would just get in a circle and he would partner them up and say, okay, it's time for you to give a piece of feedback and coaching. It's time for you to make people better. It's something that you think they can do better this week than they did that last week, whether it be in the classroom or on the court or as a leader or what. It's Make Me Better Mondays. And it just normalized coaching conversations. It normalized truth and telling each other the truth in love. And he did it early because he's like, we're going to be a culture that tells truth to each other. Now, I don't know if that matters to you or not, but if it matters, it might need a day of the week. If it's part of your identity, it might need to be talked about weekly and probably should. 2, another one that I really like is Tough Tuesdays. And this is just really practicing empathy. He would just rotate it around and 1 or 2 players would share what's going on in their life that's tough. What's painful, what's hurtful, what's challenging right now. Whether it be a family situation, a school situation, a boyfriend-girlfriend situation. It's tough because you're not getting as much playing time as you wanted to situation. You're not shooting well, not sleeping well, feeling sick, whatever. Like what's tough in your life right now? And not only does that create a space of, making people feel heard and loved and supported, it also really does build connection and trust on a team. Tough Tuesdays. Okay, Wisdom Wednesdays. He would usually, put 2 names on the board and say, all right, tomorrow, Wisdom Wednesday, you guys got to bring us a piece of wisdom, whether it be an inspirational quote or a fun fact about whales, like whatever it is, like a piece of wisdom that your parents told you, your grandparents told you when you were young, and people would take a chance to share a piece of wisdom. Thankful Thursdays, practicing gratitude. Everyone would go around the circle and share what they're grateful for, and just the practice of being thankful. On our lock left call, actually, Coach John Acario out in New Jersey, he shared something that he heard on a podcast recently, and I'm probably going to butcher this, but it was really impactful. He basically heard like, okay, if all you had for the rest of your life was what you expressed gratitude for yesterday, how would the rest of your life look? And I thought that's really, really powerful. And I'm like, that's Wisdom Wednesday right there, John. But it's just, this goes to show like how imperative it is to express gratitude. Another one is just Fun Friday. So whether it be like, okay, you have them organize and shoot a team TikTok, or you have someone like, drop a few bars, freestyle, or they, put on some music and it's just some dancing or whatever, like just fun and silliness, or you roll out a soccer ball and play soccer for 5 minutes. Something to make sure that the season stays fun. If fun's important to your culture, it should have a day of the week. Okay, that is an idea about how you can have a team rhythm that you just keep coming back to. The last one is, really about not as much team rhythms as themes. So there's this concept. Actually, I was given the proper name of this, and I'm gonna look at it here. Jason Payne on our Lock Left call said that there's actually been a lot of studies about this. It's called tactical periodization, and it actually comes from the soccer world. And it's how you actually prepare your team to perform based on what days of the week they generally play games. And so when you're training, you want to train how you play. So tactical periodization, like what day do you go hard physically? What day do you go deep mentally? That's essentially what themes are. It's like, okay, on Mondays, we're going deep on player development. Or on Tuesdays, we're going real physical and like game-like and going intense, right? And then, okay, Wednesdays, we're going to really focus in on teaching. And we're going to be a little bit, more deep on our minds. And but I don't know what your rhythm is, right? But like establish this. Thursdays, right? Thursdays, we're going to go and we're going to go big on shooting. So everybody knows. So if you can establish rhythms in conclusion on this concept, then we'll go deeper, get to the Discord, let's chat about it. I might even start a thread about it, like personal rhythm, team rhythm, theme rhythm, which is tactical periodization. If you can layer that in, I think you're going to level up this season. I think you're going to establish some really good processes.